And this is David.
Hello.
And we are in downtown Detroit, the University District, and we're heading to the Detroit Institute of Arts today to see a special exhibit. And we're going to show you that. We're right across the street from the Wayne State University WDET radio tower. And the Detroit Public Library is across the street from the DIA, along with the Detroit Historical Museum, the Detroit Science Center. We're just right here at a whole area full of educational and cultural opportunities. It's gonna be fun, right, Dave?
It's gonna be great.
How much were the tickets to today's event?
If you live in Oakland, Macomb, or Wayne County, they're $5 cheaper than anywhere else. And on the weekend for this event, it was, I think, about $25.
And that's because it's a special exhibit. If you're just going to visit the Detroit Institute of Arts, the residents of Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County get in for free anytime they want to. Special exhibits are extra depending on what the exhibit is. All right, and here's the special exhibit we're here to see. The costumes of Star Wars. Should be interesting, hey?
Sure.
There's a line waiting to get into the ticketed event here. And it's not really a cosplay event, but we do have a stormtrooper present. Complete with a helmet, which she's not wearing right now. Alright. In the entrance here we have a couple of actual robes from the movie. We have Alex Guinness Obi-Wan costume from the very first movie, 1977, The New Hope, and Queen Amidala's robe on the right.
Hey, we're here at the Star Wars exhibit here at the DIA, and behind us are the first two things you see when you come in. Over here on the, well, your right, my left, would be the costume of Queen Amidala from Episode 1. Episode 1. Queen Amidala over here. This is the most famous costume she wore. You saw this in a lot of the promo material at the time. It's a lot smaller in person than you realize. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Alec Guinness, original costume from 1977. Look at that. Made of silk and wool, and remember, they shot this in 1976 in Tunisia, so he's running around the desert wearing that. That cannot be fun.
Well, it looks like pretty lightweight fabric, though.
It does, but I don't know. It's
awesome.
That is
very cool. Storyboard from the original movie from 1975. An actual piece of paper that they started to lay out the storyline with before they even thought about beginning filming. Over here we have a collection of the robed characters and lightsabers. Along with Darth in the center there. Which Darth character is that? Is that Darth Maul?
Yes, that would be Darth Maul, and that shows his costume worn in Episode 1. And over here you see the actual lightsaber, the double-ender one he had in that movie.
This one?
Yep, that's the prop one. Now, obviously, in that movie, he did not fight 4 Jedi at once, but this is just a good diorama, I suppose, to show off the costumes and whatnot.
He fought 2 at once, right?
Yes, he did. And over here we got lightsaber used by Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon and Phantom Menace. There's going to be a lot of the Phantom Menace stuff here.
That's fine.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, who's that? That looks like a woman.
It would be, but I don't think that's it. I don't know. Let's see what it is.
I haven't seen all the Star Wars movies, so we're kind of at a limited of my knowledge here.
Alright, this way.
Oh, here we go.
Luminara Unduli.
Luminara Unduli from Attack of the Clones.
Episode 2, yep.
I don't really remember.
Yes. She would have been, you might have, she would have been one of the Jedi in the background during the massive fight on the planet of Geonosis.
Okay.
Where they fought all the droids.
Ah, okay.
So that was that. And over here? Ah, yeah. You press the button.
What happens?
Well, watch. Press the button. You filming?
Press the button.
Press the button.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. The lightsabers light up and do things. That's cool.
Yeah.
I want to hold it.
And then you press that one lights up over there. Yeah.
Notice on this one, of course, this is the costume worn by
Mace
Samuel
Windu.
Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
Mace Windu. His lightsaber was purple for personal request of his.
I've seen him in stuff from before.
Oh, look, it's Anakin's costume. That's very cute. Look at that. That's a great costume. Oops. Look at the detail. That's very nice. And this is from 1999's Phantom Menace. And this is Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi here. Alright, here's a little trivia question for you. What did Qui-Gon Jinn use to free young Anakin from his enslavement? Let me see. Unless you guys want to do it. Some sort of dice. Look at that. Very cool. Very cool. This is a reproduction of the art studios where the costumes were designed. And a lot of the drawings spread out on the table for you to see. Different inspirational and sample art in the background. It's an actual drafting table, artboard here. With an assortment of artistic books. Graphic artists and designers often consult different style books and history books and other artwork to get ideas and inspiration for the designs they're trying to come up with. Here we have Queen Amidala from the Phantom Menace, 1999. Another trivia question here. What does Princess Leia use to communicate and tell time and space? What do you think? Who knows the answer? Let's see what the answer is here. Oh, look at that. A wristwatch. Kind of similar to the old Seiko and Casio wristwatches of the 70s. It was their idea back then of a futuristic wristwatch might look like. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Queen Amidala from the Phantom Menace in 1999. Princess Leia from 1980. Empire Strikes Back. Yet another one of Queen Amidala.
I investigated, Mommy.
A handmaid from Phantom Menace, 1999. Queen Apialana. Funeral gown. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Queen Amidala. Phantom Menace. It's beautiful. That's the most stunning costume here, I think. Look at that, the detail. Another handmaiden from 1999's Phantom Menace. And costume pieces from C-3PO. Dave? David,
Yes.
what are these made out of? Are these plastic?
I'm not sure.
R2-D2 from 1975.
Now, as you can see in the bottom picture, they had the idea of having more ball form, but they couldn't figure out how to do that in 1975. And you might be thinking, that droid looks pretty familiar. Where have I seen him before? Well, you saw him 40 years later.
BB-8?
That's BB-8, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that was the inspiration for the. That was the inspiration for BB-8 and Force Awakens.
Very cool. Funny how the same design came back to be reused.
Yeah.
And some more actual blueprint style drawings there of the actual R2-D2 unit. But really, all of the R2 units share the same architecture, don't they?
I suppose they do.
Oh, and here they are up close. Look at this. BB-8 from 2015, The Force Awakens. Apparently these are all screen-used props, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, the BB-8 here is a prop, but R2-D2 on your right, that's your cue to pan over. R2-D2 here, that's the costume from the original movie.
Is it really?
Yes.
That a guy would be inside of?
Yes, Kenny Baker himself is in that movie.
No way.
That's it.
That is so cool. Oh, and those are some of the tools the R2 unit deploys over there?
Yep.
I gotta see
Different
those.
parts interchange.
Yep. I've seen, look at this. There's some of the tools that R2 has in his arsenal of things that he's used to go out and do things with. Remember in some scene he plugs into a data port to communicate with the ship's computers, and another scene he uses like a welding torch to cut and weld with. And these are just different parts of the accessory parts of the R2 costume. And that is one of the original R2s from 1977. New Hope, Episode 4, the original Star Wars movie. Cast in fiberglass with a small layer of expanding foam, fitted with a small car seat inside. We actually had an actor inside of that. Isn't that something? Here I am with me and R2 together here.
The electric stinger.
Okay, like
And C-3PO, is that a C-3PO from the original movie too?
Second. That would be
Second movie?
That's a C-3PO costume from Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. C-3PO from Empire Strikes Back here. Who was the actor who played C-3PO?
Anthony Hopkins.
All right.
Almost said Anthony Hopkins.
That would be wrong. 30 pounds of fiberglass in vacuum formed plastic and aluminum.
Also, you get a sense of how thin that man was.
Oh yeah, look at that. Very huge.
I say it added 30 pounds. Would that bring his total weight to 70 pounds?
It's very thin and athletic. Look at that. This is awesome to see this in person.
Of the robot from the 1927 film Metropolis.
I did not know that was based on Metropolis, which is an incredible movie. Fritz Lang. Everybody should get a chance to see Metropolis if they get a chance. I did not know that C-3PO was based on that.
It was. And as you see over here, this one's from 1975, shows the original finish to what he'd be and what would become Episode 4. Over here, on the left, was the concept art from the 1995, and they were doing the prequels, and they wondered what C-3PO would look like before he was finished when Anakin would be building him. So this is some of the ideas they had.
Much more lifelike face here, or is this a cutaway?
I believe that would be a lifelike face.
Okay. Amazing how much detail and design artwork goes into each individual character. Everyone has its own specific set of fabrics and decorative trim items that go into making the costume for that character. One of our favorite characters here from some of the different movies. I see Sand People. What do we got here? Tusken Raiders from 1977.
And 2002.
Look at
That
that.
one would be probably one of the ones that attacked Luke in the first movie.
Yeah, the one on the right looks just like the guy in For the Desert, doesn't it?
It sure does. And the one on the left would be with the when we went back to that village in a, oddly enough, a prequel movie.
The Attack of the Clones, 2002.
Yep. That would be with the women wear when Anakin goes back to the village after his mother's to rescue his mom. Then he ends up
Finn, I have no idea who Finn is. It's just a leather jacket, I suppose. Not much of a costume, but hey.
That's Finn and Rey from the new movie.
All right. Ray.
Played by Boyega and Ridley.
All right, that's pretty cool. But then we've got the two bounty hunters here, Boba Fett and Jango Fett.
Boba Fett, of course, introduced Empire Strikes Back, and Jango Fett from Attack of the Clones.
Oh, Boba Fett's one that captures.
Han Solo. Yep.
Yes. And then that's his father here from a prequel. Jango Fett.
No, yes, technically father-son, but technically Boba Fett is a clone of Jango, but still.
Ah. Okay. Head over here to the most famous costume of any Star Wars movie. And it's not Princess Leia hiding in her desert suit here.
Well, we see the two Princess Leias when they go to get Han Solo from Jabba the Hutt. That's her as the bounty hunter in disguise with the thermal detonator.
Again, the next one we're going to show here is really probably the most famous Princess Leia costume of all, don't you think?
I would say so.
All right, let's go see it. Everybody's been waiting for this. There it is. The most famous Star Wars costume of them all.
Bless you.
Princess Leia from 1983's Return of the Jedi. Made with silk, painted resin, leather, and rubber. The famous scene with her and Jabba the Hutt.
I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
What's it say? Don't you have a David? You have an autographed copy of this guy's
Yeah, I have a picture of him.
picture of the actor. You know.
Yeah, the actor's name is Jeremy Bulloch. He played Boba Fett in both Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He only has like 5 lines of dialogue, but nevertheless, he's probably one of the top 5 most famous characters from the movie. So much, in fact, that he's getting his own spin-off movie in the next couple of years from Disney. I had the pleasure of running into Mr. Bulloch at a comic convention a few years ago. He's a very nice man, older British gentleman. He was signing autographs, taking pictures, talked to us for a while. Very nice. He actually has a few cameos in other movies. He worked for Pinewood Studios. He worked a lot at Pinewood Studios, as a lot of these actors did. If you watch the Star Wars movies from the 80s, you'll notice certain characters show up again in other movies like Indiana Jones. Also in this one, you see this actor, Jeremy Bulloch, show up again 30-some years later. Well, actually, it would have been 20. In Revenge of the Sith, he is driving a spaceship, I want to say, at the end of the movie. Or flying, or piloting, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's the...
Now, did they get him to actually play Django too in the movie or not?
I don't believe... No, he didn't do it.
Okay.
That Django in that movie... now, in the original movies, Boba never really takes his helmet off, so you don't really get to see him. But in the Attack of the Clones that Django's in, they had a designated actor for that.
What's the little symbol on his breastplate there stand for? Do you know?
Yeah, it's a they're Mandalore. This armor style is called Mandalorian, and that's part of the insignia. And then, as you notice, they've recently retconned this up on the top of the helmet. There's the blaster indent, and that was supposed to be from a Star Wars animated TV show that's on recently, and that was shot at him in a duel with a character named, I believe, Cad Bane.
All right. I have one more question, since I'm not really familiar in the newer trends in the movies.
Yeah.
Is Boba Fett considered a evil character, or is he just a bounty hunter who goes about doing his business trying to make some money?
I believe the proper terminology would be anti-hero, I suppose.
So he's pretty popular, so that's why he has his own show coming out.
Yeah, people, I believe Lucas himself even admitted that he didn't, looking back on it, he was a little upset that he killed the character off in Jedi. He's like, oh, if I would have known he would have been that popular, I would have kept him around.
I see.
But Disney owns it now, so who knows? It could be a prequel movie, it could be him getting out of the Sarlacc pit. There's a lot of comic books and novels on the story, so we'll have to see what comes out.
Oh, I thought the last room was cool. This is even cooler. They have Ewoks and Wookiees. Wookiees and Ewoks. What do we got to do, Dave? This is so cool.
A lot of them. Ah, yes,
A lot of people have hate for the Ewoks, you know that.
They do, I never understood it. Yeah, they're just little...
They're so cute.
Bears. They're mini Wookiees. Okay, I understand. Ewoks are not mini Wookiees. I get it.
And they're using the skull for a drum.
Celebration.
It's not a skull, it's a helmet.
Well, that's...
I threw that out. I threw that out for you there, for you to correct me. No stormtroopers were harmed in the filming of this movie.
Keep telling yourself that.
What's that?
It's like, keep telling yourself that.
What's that over there?
I have no idea.
I need to press that
Wookiee
button.
cooling suit. Oh, that's inside of his costume to keep him cool.
Sure is.
If you ever wondered how the actors stay cool inside of these hairy and hard, stiff, sweat-inducing costumes in the desert heat, here's your answer. Cooling lines on their inner t-shirt. Look at that. Water flowing through these tubes helps keep the actors cool when they're in these costumes. Well, that's great. 15 pounds of yak hair in the original costume.
That is amazing. And that is the original costume.
Peter Mayhew.
That's true.
I love the background here. And Harrison Ford's a pretty tall guy with the Wookiee towers over him. And now we're in a section where they have the clothes of the Galactic Senators, it looks like.
Yeah, from the prequel movies. Here you have all the costumes worn by Ian McDiarmid, who played Senator Palpatine, who later became the Emperor. And that's,
I knew that.
Yeah, Senator, Chancellor, more Chancellor, and then him near the end after he got in his fight with Mace Windu, and he becomes horribly disfigured and has become full-on bad guy.
He's always a bad guy.
Well, right, but in the Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, you don't really, you know, you don't. If you're watching him in that order, you might be like, hey, what's this guy up to?
When I knew, first time I saw Phantom Menace, I knew that's the guy who's going to end up being the Emperor. He's the bad guy.
Well, in my fairness, first time I saw it, I was 11. And I didn't really understand plot.
Very cool. That looks like the blanket I had to work on my car, Dave. This one's very good. I like this one here a lot. Something like a medieval monk would wear. A crazy medieval monk. Come on, Dave, narrate with me. You're not a good co-vlogger here.
That wasn't what I was.
I need details. I need enrichment and background information.
All right.
Who's this person?
This would be a standard Senate guard that you'd see in Phantom Menace, background character. But still, look at the attention to detail in that.
Not an ongoing character of any real importance, so.
Doesn't even have a name.
All right.
The Senate equivalent of a stormtrooper.
How about Feather Girl here?
This would be some senator from the Revenge of the Sith movie. Named Slide Moore. Senate robes and cape. Trusted aide to the Emperor.
Very nice costume.
And over here you have.
Ooh, that's nice too.
That's the uniform worn by Mon Mothma in Revenge of the Sith.
Is that a senator of some? Most of these people are not particularly important in the story development at all.
Well,
Or?
Mon Mothma was a senator in the prequel movies, but when you get to Return of the Jedi, she's the female general, admiral lady that.
Oh, in Return of the Jedi? That's
Yeah,
okay.
she's the one that she's like the only other woman in the galaxy besides Princess Leia.
This guy's
apparently.
enormous. Who's
Yeah,
this?
this is Mos Amida. He was a senator,
Good guy, bad guy?
just a politician. He didn't do. He
Oh, I remember that weird face.
yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the other one has a circular horn around his head.
Oh yeah, from Jedi. Yeah, that's a motif you see a lot in these movies. These horns that almost look like elongated fingernails coming out
Yeah.
around the neck.
Is that actually part of their body, or is that a costume effect they wear to emulate some homeland thing?
I would believe that's part of the body. That's part.
Because he does have green hands.
I'm afraid, I like these movies, I really do, but I'm really hoping anybody watching these doesn't go to the YouTube comment section and rip me a new one, because I was out drinking a lot last night, and I did not do my homework, and some of y'all made Kelly Tran leave social media, and please don't do that to me. I'm just some guy here with my dad looking at costumes.
That's okay, because a lot of these movies I haven't even seen, so there you go. Bail Organa. Senate robes, Revenge of the
Played
Sith.
by Jimmy Smits.
Really?
That's him
The
right
old
there.
actor who used to be a lot of cop shows.
Yeah, he was in Revenge of the Sith. He played Bail Organa, the senator from the planet Alderaan,
Ah.
who at the end of Sith ended up taking the child Leia as his own and back to Alderaan, where 20 years later she'd be the princess and all that jazz.
I see.
He later reprised his role as Senator Organa in the spin-off movie Rogue One.
Did you notice his belt buckle looks like E.T.'s head?
Kind of does, doesn't it? Maybe
Is
that's
that
an
E.T.'s home planet?
No, but however, if you do watch episode 1, in a Senate scene, you can see a pod in the Galactic Senate chamber is filled with the aliens from the ET
I
movie.
remember that. I remember that.
And so the ET aliens are somewhere in a galaxy far, far away. That's also in the past.
Dark side or following the light? Hard to say. And of course, Senator Amidala, before she was Queen Amidala, right?
After.
After. Yes, that's right, because she was queen first, but one of her jobs as queen of that planet was to be a senator to the
Something.
meeting of all the planets, right?
Well, I think what it was she was queen when she was younger, then term limit, so she became like a senator or something like that. I'd have to watch the prequels again. I haven't done it in a few years.
I think that's the only prequel I've seen.
Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace?
You might have saw both of those, actually.
I'm intentional for the people at home. I'm intentionally getting some of these facts wrong to see if I can rile some Star Wars fan behind us to be like, excuse me.
I see. And here we have a whole room
This is a
dedicated
cool
to the flight crews and the
Stormtroopers. Anything.
And Resistance.
Military.
That's Resistance pilots over there, right? Is this a screen use thing at all?
Sure is. That's the
From
one they made from
Revenge of the Sith.
The last prequel. That's the one we see Anakin
When he-
Skywalker become Darth Vader.
When he just becomes Darth Vader, right?
Yep.
Nice costume. Alright, Return of the Jedi, Imperial Stormtrooper from Endor. Certainly covered with battle scars and dirt and flesh burns, a whole bit. What we got here is a First Order Stormtrooper from The Force Awakens. And I guess if you're making multiple bulk costumes, you have to do it on a little bit cheaper, because this one looks really plasticky and the gun looks really low tech and kind of low budget.
I like these ones. These ones seem a little more.
Look at the gun. The gun looks like a toy you'd buy at Toys R Us or Walmart.
The other gun just looks like solid black, though. You know, this one has a little more detail.
I guess.
Also, this, yeah, I think that's something else you see. Like, guys, careful not to reach over. Oh, sorry. I like the accents on there. Just it looks like what would be the next version of this. You know. Like,
Okay, fair enough. I'll buy that.
Then over
Did you
here,
miss something behind us? Oh yeah, a couple of fighters, pilot. Oh, no,
pilots,
is that what they are?
Yeah, that would be a
Alright.
standard officer.
Oh yes, that's kind of reminiscent of even the '77 movie, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I believe he is from that one. He's from that. Then on the left, you have a TIE fighter pilot from the original movie.
It says Bike Scout, doesn't it? Oh, that's the Bike Scout helmet down
That's the
there.
bike helmet right there.
Alright.
That would be a TIE fighter pilot from the original movie.
Alright.
And then over here, you have the TIE fighter pilot from 2015's Force Awakens.
I see.
And then over there, you see some helmets for those would be the Death Star technicians.
All right. Why do they need those huge? Oh, those are. If you're looking at the back of the helmet, that's the face shield facing the other way. The long part's the face shield.
I'm not really sure why they chose that, but that's remember when you see all those things anytime they're getting ready to fire up the Death Star, those are the
Okay.
guys wearing those helmets.
All right. Now let's go check out the Resistance pilots here. Alright, yep, we've got an assortment of Resistance pilots. Captain Typho from Revenge of the Sith. Luke Skywalker's X-Wing pilot from Return of the Jedi. Right there. A genuine Skywalker costume. And who played Luke Skywalker?
I noticed. Oh, the guy that went on to play the Joker in the Batman animated TV show. And I think he was also in Corvette Summer. That guy. I don't know. He's got an IMDb page, I'm sure.
Oh yes, Corvette Summer. I remember that with Annie Potts. Kind of a forgettable movie that came out just
When can we leave? That's awesome.
about a year after. Came out a year after Star Wars, didn't it?
I don't remember.
You never actually taken the time to watch it, huh?
I have not.
Mark Hamill would be disappointed in you.
He very much. Oh, there it is.
Didn't you talk to him once
I know.
on a podcast or something?
That's a story for a different day.
You're supposed to say yes.
That's why I said that's a story
And we had to add this one in, a snow trooper.
from Force Awakens. I believe that was from near the end of the movie. Looks pretty
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah, I can see it. Got like an extra coat. covering his legs and keeping everything warm. Those snow boots look really almost like ski boots with the snaps on the legs, and that's a very well designed winter costume. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, from Senator Amidala's hairpieces.
Which, of course, would be Princess Leia's mother, so a nice bit of foreshadowing in the prequel.
Done in the Hopi Native American Indian style. Apparently.
So says the black.
There we go. Look at that. Oh, and here's an actual photograph of
People doing it.
the Hopi Native American Indian style. Look at that.
Even though that one says Mexican Revolution hairstyles.
That's true. That's true. A copy of the Hopi Native Americans, I suppose.
I assume that would be somewhere in the American side.
And who is this one again? Is this Amidala again? Of course. Padme Amidala? Is that?
That's the one. As you can see in the prequels, they had a lot bigger of a budget, so...
All right, we're going to go through the wardrobes of Padme Amidala here. There's quite a vast assortment.
A lot of stuff from Attack of the Clones
And
here.
these were all worn by Natalie Portman?
Most of the ones I've seen so far, yes.
Okay. Keep moving on a steady pace here so I can keep filming. I've been filming for well over a half hour, so
Are you going to cut this out or make one video out of it?
I'm going to run out of
Lake Retreat
memory
dress.
card
I
soon.
remember that. That was the one she wore when they were having dinner. That's the nightgown one. That's from the Battle of Geonosis, I think. Geonosis or Camino? Geonosis. That's when the giant weird lobster thing scratched. Was it the lobster or was it the tiger one? I don't
What's
know.
that?
I'm trying to remember when scratches or like that. That's why that's weird.
Oh yeah, it says arena costume with gun. And there's another. This looks almost like some of the other ones I've seen before today.
Yeah. That's the near the end, but I think that's. What is this?
And this is a
This would
wedding
be
when
this
they
would be
get
the
married.
scene from Attack of the Clones where they got married.
I thought I saw Attack of the Clones. I don't remember him getting married. Oh, he already had his fake hand by then?
Yep. In Attack of the Clones, he loses his hand to Count Dooku, and he gets his first metal arm. In Revenge of the Sith, the third movie, he fights Obi-Wan Kenobi, and in the famous "I have the high ground now" Anakin part, Obi-Wan cuts off, I believe, his other hand and both legs beneath the knee, and there's that shot of him with the one robot hand crawling out of the lava pit, on fire, burning, and that's kind of, I think, I always read that as, well...
And here's another fan favorite, Yoda. Originally puppeteered by Frank Oz.
This would be the real one from 1979.
Is it really?
Yeah, from when they were filming Empire.
The one that Frank Oz himself operated?
Yeah, I would suppose so. I know Frank Oz did the voice. I know puppet.
I thought he did, but I'm not sure. Very cool.
This little guy right
1979.
here, as seen from this movie, is on my credit card at this very moment.
Excellent. Oh, and still like a stormtrooper. Here's checking out the exhibit.
They made you
Cool.
take the.
Yeah, I love wearing masks.
That's so cool though. Great costume.
Thanks.
See yourself on YouTube later. I'll have the video up probably in a day or two.
Oh, cool.
Now,
Aim a little higher. Higher, a little higher.
how high do you want to go? I can't see your head now.
Tilt down. Get a good. Is that a good angle? Okay.
It's fine.
All right. And now for the best part of Star Wars. Saw a lot of costumes, a lot of props, a lot of cool things. But now for the greatest thing Star Wars gave America, and dare I say the world, merchandising.
We're down to our last 10 seconds of filming. Star Wars sweaters,